Sir, up to this, just we covered very important functional interface predicate, a mathematical word predicate, how you can implement in Java by using predicate functional interface. Sir, same style, there is another functional interface we require to discuss. What is that word is function. Are you getting what is this word, sir? Function. Sir, forget about Java. Function is a mathematical word like predicate. Function is a mathematical word like predicate. What is the difference between predicate and function? Very simple, sir. Predicate always perform some condition check, some condition it will check some condition, and always returns either true or false. Correct, right? Just now we covered multiple examples. Whether the given integer is greater than 10 or not, whether the length of the given string is greater than 15 or not, or employee salary less than 10,000 or not. Sir, I want to check some condition. After performing that condition, I have to return either true or false. Are you getting right? So, a Boolean valued function is nothing but one predicate, sir. It's a pure mathematical word. Okay? To implement this, we had predicate functional interface, right? Have you remembered? Predicate functional interface we covered, which is always going to take one type. Of course, one input type, perform some condition, and returns either true or false. Function is exactly same as predicate, but function, sir, need not to return Boolean value. It can return any value. Are you getting that? Sir, usually I want to insert one record in the database. I have to insert one record in the database and return number of rows inserted. Are you getting? Or I want to check what is the length of the given string. I don't want to check whether the length of the given string is greater than 10 or not. Array, write a function to find the length of the given string. So, function is exactly same as predicate, but only difference is it can return any type of value. Are you getting right? Need not be Boolean value. The function can return integer value. The function can return string value. The function can return student object, customer object, any type of value function can able to return. But predicate is always going to return only Boolean value. Everyone can able to understand, right? Okay. So first difference, of course, only one difference between predicate and function. Predicate is always Boolean valued function, but function is not a Boolean valued function. It can return anything, no problem at all. Next, sir, have you observed, right? Predicate can return Boolean value. How the predicate declaration, right? Okay, here interface predicate is there. Interface predicate. Under this predicate contain, have you remembered, right? One method. What is that method, sir? Test, and it is going to take this type of input parameter, and returns what value, sir? Boolean value. So predicate always returns which value? Boolean value. And the method name is what? Test. This is the abstract method which is available in the predicate. Sir, what about function? Okay, to implement function, normal functions, mathematical functions, in the 1.8 version, function interface came. This interface introduced in the 1.8. This interface present in java.util.function package only, same as predicate. But here, how it is? What is the declaration of function? Just observe that interface function. This function can take two types of arguments. What is the first one? T, second one R. What is the meaning of T and R? T is input parameter. What is the T, sir? T is input parameter. What is the R? R means return type. Are you getting right? R means what? Return type. Okay, make sure, sir, because function can return any type. That's why which type the function is going to return, we have to specify here. Okay. Next, but here return type we are not required to specify. What is the reason for that? You know, because the return type is always what? Boolean type only. Next, sir, predicate contain one method. What is that method, sir? Test. Test is the method, right? This test method can take some argument, return Boolean value. Same way, function can contain one method. What is that method? Is apply. What is the method name, sir? Can you spell out? Apply. Apply this function. Apply this function for this input argument. And after performing that functionality, can you please return this type? R is return type. Next T is input type. This is the function interface method. Everyone can able to understand, right? Sir, very simple. What is the difference between predicate and function? Predicate is always Boolean valued function. But function need not be return Boolean value, it can return anything. Predicate is the special case of function only. Predicate contain one method. What is that method, sir? Test. Test is the method. It will perform some conditional check. It will perform some conditional check and returns true or false. But sir, this function can return. Do you know, right? Sir, any type of value. And the functional interface contain one method. What is that method, sir? Apply method. Is it clear, right? Sir, now let me execute. Let me explain a small example so that you people can aware very easily, right? Sir, my requirement is I want to find length of given string. What is about my requirement, sir? I want to write a function. To find the length of given string. That's about my requirement, sir. How we can write a function for that? Very simple. Here function. Sir, you have to provide input is what type? String. I will provide string as the input. That's why, sir, input type is string type. Regarding input type is what type, sir? String type. Remember. Next, after finding length, I have to return that length. Length is a return type. What is the return type of length? Is usually number. That's why length is return type is integer. Regarding function, sir, string itself is what is this one, sir? Input type. What is this integer, sir? Return type. Remember this one. F is equal to. Sir, function is a functional interface or not? Yes. Okay. Happily, we can use this function to refer lambda expression. What I will do? I will provide input type as a string. I will provide input value string. What I have to return, sir? I have to return length of the string. Correct or not? I have to return length of the string. That's why return yes dot length. This is the lambda expression. Remember this one, sir. Have you observed? So it's a simple function. Function of string comma integer. Input is what type, sir? String type. Next, return type is what type, sir? Integer type. If I provide string, now it is going to return yes dot length. Yes dot length method returns what type, sir? Int value. Make sure, sir, this is a simple function. How to find the length of given string? Have you observed? Here, what is the return type? Integer. It is not Boolean value. So, function can return any type of value, no problem at all. Are you able to understand, right? So, simple example. I will how to write executable code. Let me write, sir. So now let me explain, sir. Whatever the function I explained here. Let me write the executable program so that you people can feel comfortable, right? Sir, my requirement is I will give some string. I want to write a function to find the length of that given string by using functional interface function. Clear, right? Okay. Very simple, sir. Let me take function. Regarding what is the function? I have to provide which type, sir? Int type is always what type? String type, comma. Return type is what type? Integer, because I am expecting length of the given string. Function string integer f is equal to here, if I give yes, I have to return s dot length. Are you getting? I have to return s dot length. Simple example, sir. Now system dot out dot println f dot. Have you remember? Function interface contain one method. What is that method, sir? Apply. Apply is the method. F dot apply. Can you please apply this function to which argument? Now just I'm taking Durga. Durga is my argument. Can you please tell, sir, whenever f dot apply of Durga, now this Durga will become argument. S will become Durga. It returns s dot length. Returns s dot length means what? What is the length of Durga? Here 5. 5 itself is the value, right? Are you getting? Same way here system dot out dot println f dot apply. F dot apply of Durga soft. Are you getting? F dot apply of Durga soft. Can you please tell what is the length of this one, son? What is the length of this one? 9. Okay, a simple executable code. Remember this one. So function is a functional interface and hence it can refer lambda expression. Next, a function can return any type based on our requirement, but predicate is always what? Boolean. The return type should be true or false, but in this case you can return integer value, you can return string value, you can return any type. Need not be Boolean type. Clear for all of it? Okay, let me go for a simple execution of this program, sir. If I consider same example, have a look one, sir. Function string integer. String is the input type, integer is a return type. Yes, if I can give yes, now this function is going to return s dot length. F dot apply of Durga, s dot apply of Durga soft. Just observe same example, whatever there on the board, same example I'm trying to execute, sir. Okay, Java C test dot Java. Have you observed, right? Next, Java test. If I consider, so length of Durga 5, length of Durga soft itself is nothing but 9. Everyone can able to understand, right? So make sure this is the way how you can use function. Next, let me go for another simple example, right? Sir, my requirement is I will give one integer number. You have to write a function to return square of that integer number. Are you getting that? I will give one integer number, write a function to return square of that number by using lambda expressions, functional interface, right? How you can write? Very simple, sir. Observe. Function. Are you getting? Function. You have to provide which type, sir? Integer type. My input is what type? Integer type. Now the return type is what type? Square means integer square is always integer type only. Integer. Okay. F is, sir, if I provide I value, then I have to return I into I. Are you getting that? Square, I into I have to return. Next, system dot out dot println f dot apply of 5 I am taking. If I can take f dot apply of 5, sir, 5 will become I and the square means 5 square. What is about its value, sir? 25. System dot out dot println f dot apply of 10 I am taking, sir. What the answer by default we will get? Okay, like. Is it clear for all of it? So, function, we can use function interface, okay, to perform some operations and return the corresponding value, okay. Let me execute this code, sir. Very simple. Just observe a bit carefully, sir. Can you please guide? Sir, I don't want to use this one. Can you please guide? Sir, what is the input type? Integer. What is the output type? Integer. What is our lambda expression, sir? I gives I into I. Okay. Now f dot apply of 5, f dot apply of 10 I am taking. Same example, whatever I explained on the board is like that. Now let me run this code, sir. Compile, no problem. Sir, what is the answer? First time 25, next time itself is nothing but 100. The square of 5, 25. The square of 100 itself is nothing but 100. Is it clear for all of you, right? So this is about what is the functional interface, how you can implement. Everyone can able to understand, right? Okay, that's it. Sir, up to this we covered what is predicate and what is the function. Just to get much clarity, let me summarize all differences between predicate and a function. Sir, both are functional interfaces, both introduced in the 1.8 version only. Next, both present in java.util function package only. But what the remaining differences? I mean, what the next level differences, right? Just observe when we should go for predicate and a function. When we should go for predicate? Usually, we can go for predicate to perform some conditional check and based on that return some boolean value. But when we should go for function, we have to perform certain operation and based on that operation return some value. The return value need not be boolean. Next, predicate can take only one input parameter, only one type parameter which represents input parameter only. We are not required to specify return type parameter because in the case of predicate, return type is always what types are? Boolean type only. But if I consider function, we require to provide two parameters. One is input parameter, second one is return type parameter. Because the reason is return type need not be boolean always. It can be integer type, it can be integer type, string type, like anything. That's why, so return type as well as input type, both we have to specify in the case of function. Next, sir, predicate interface contain one abstract method. Have you remembered, right? What is that abstract method? Test. Can you please test this condition? Test this condition like this. But function interface contain one abstract method. What is that method is apply. Apply this function. Are you getting it? Test this condition. Apply this function. Like these are various references between predicate and a function. Are you getting it? Let me summarize all into a small table form so that you people can feel comfortable, right? Okay. Have a look once. The first one is the predicate, second one is function. Sir, to implement conditional checks, we should go for predicate. Obviously, if you want to implement some conditional check, I want to check whether salary is greater than 10,000 or not, whether employee, okay, age is greater than 50 or not. Something like to implement conditional checks, we should go for predicate. Next, to perform certain operation, and to return some result based on that operation, we should go for function. Something like average salary of all employees. So first I have to find salary of all. I have to evaluate average salary. That average salary I have to return. Have you observed, right? Return type need not be boolean types. I have to perform certain operation and I have to return the value based on that operation. Then we should go for function. Next, predicate can take only one type parameter which represents input argument type. Are you getting? Sir, how to declaration of predicate? Do you know? Predicate of t. Remember this one. Predicate of t. How many type parameters are there? Only one. This type parameter is going to represent what? Input type. Sir, why you are not specifying return type? Return type we are not required to specify. Return type is always what types are? Boolean type only. Clear, right? But what about functions? Function can take two type parameters. Are you getting that? Function can take how many type parameters, right? Two type parameter. Sir, first one represents input argument type. Second one represents return type. Why we have to specify return type? Because return type need not be boolean. It can be any type. That's why we have to specify at the beginning only. Sir, what input type you are going to provide? What return type you are going to get? Okay, two type parameters are there. Next, predicate interface define one abstract method called test. How many abstract methods are there, sir? Only one abstract method called test. But function interface define one abstract method called apply. Function interface contain apply. Can you please apply this function? But predicate interface contain test. Can you please test this condition? Okay, for the test. Next, public boolean test this is the complete prototype of test method, right? Test can take one input argument type, and the return type is always what types are? Boolean type. But public or apply, sir, input type is a T type, return type is R. It is a need not be Boolean, it can be any type, no problem at all. Next, predicate can return only Boolean value. Are you getting that? Predicate can return only Boolean value, but function can return any type of value. That's all, sir. In the interview room, if any person is going to ask what is the difference between predicate and function, you have to tell this. Seems to be both are same with a slight difference, right? Predicate is a special case of function where return type is always Boolean type. That is what is the difference between predicate and function. Clear, right?